Gentlemen, welcome back to the Tiege Hanley Starting a Business, Building a Brand vlog. This one, big number 72. It's good to be back. The trip, last week in the vlog, I was out in San Francisco. I was going to speak at UC Berkeley, and it was fascinating. And let me tell you why it was fascinating, and it totally applies to the vlog. All these kids that so it was put on, this event was put on by the business fraternity. And it was really great. You know, the kids did a fantastic job. It was cute. And had a really good time. It was really cool meeting the other Shark Tank people that were out there for the seminar, whatever it was. There were, I think, 4 or 5 other people, and it was really incredible to hear their story and for them to talk about their business. But we were very different in the sense that all of the other people and business people that were out there, they created a product first. That's what they had the idea for a product, and it was like, this is my product. Me, I was totally different. I had an audience, and then I had to figure out what product I wanted to sell. They had the product, they needed to find the audience and figure out how to sell it and who to sell it to. And so it was different in terms of how we started and sort of our business journeys. But what was fascinating to me was actually talking to some of these kids about business and about entrepreneurship. Because you have these really smart, intelligent young people. But it was interesting the way, because the way that it worked is we had our thing and then everybody got to go and eat. They had like Willie's or Moe's or Chipotle, I don't know what they had. Because I stayed in the auditorium and talked to, there were about 20, 30 people that came to meet me. Because my name, actually, you want to see it? This was the postcard that was around campus. And as you can see, that handsome devil, yeah, you know me. Anyway, so people saw that I was coming, and because I have a YouTube channel, some people wanted to come and meet me. So it was really cool. Everybody else was eating, and I hung out in the auditorium for an hour until we got kicked out of the building, and I talked to these people. And took a lot of pictures, and it was just really, it was neat. And it always just, it blows my mind just to, when people want to meet me, and it's hard to explain, but it's a surreal experience. And to be completely honest, I get recognized quite a bit when I go out anywhere, for that matter. Whenever there's men between the ages of, say, 16 and 55, if there are guys there, and chances are, like at the mall and workout and start, like, people recognize me. And I think it's because of these ears. I guess I have a distinctive look or something. I don't know. Anyway, these people wanted to talk to me, these young people, and they were great. They were smart, they were interested, but to hear their view on business and entrepreneurship, and to actually have them debate people that have done it because of the stuff that they've learned, it was amazing to me. There is a big difference between theory and application and actually execution. And so you have a lot of these young kids who thought they knew more than people that were actually doing things. And that was interesting to me. But it was all in all, it was a good time. It was a long 2 days, but it was a good time. Anyway, I'm back, and I wanted to talk a bit about the commercials that you guys saw last time. So as you know, we did one commercial with Amy. It was a complete flop, and last week I said, hey, 2 more commercials. What is your opinion? I had my opinion of what you guys would think, but I wanted to know. And so right now I'd actually like to read some of the comments, what you guys had to say. Christian Watson says, I actually liked one better, video 1, which was short. There was no speaking. It wasn't with me in there. But the final scene with the man and the woman together went on too long and was a tad awkward. Cool. Another one, the next person, Vince Chapstick, said video 2, but in half the time. The second video was a minute long, and it was me talking, and Yeah, I'll talk about that in a second. Next is Pedro Corto. Didn't like the video 1 at all. Video 2 is good, but I think it's a bit too long. Try to make it shorter, more directly to the point. Keep up the great work, Aaron. Thanks, brother. Next one, Joshi Safari. I'm so sorry for butchering. I'm an idiot. Don't listen to me. Anyway, he says, I liked it very much. Video number 2. But it's a commercial, not a show reel. I'd like to see it edited Alpha M style with faster talking and quick cuts and more uniform color grading. Sam Harrison says, video 1, very awkward and cheesy. Video 2, I enjoyed that you're in it, really helps the commercials. Everyone knows your face, so I think you should be in whatever commercial you go with. I'd click it if I saw your face with anything on it. But here's interesting side note. We've done tests with some static ads and banner ads, and when it has my face on it, it converts, it's a lower conversion. Whatever that means. And so that I just thought was interesting. Probably not that interesting. The last comment I want to talk about is from Leo Gassitua. Terrible. I should be ashamed of myself. I don't think these commercials emphasize the main selling points very well. They're too generic. The commercial should show someone searching through hundreds of skincare products and totally giving up. Then Aaron should jump in and briefly explain Tiege Hanley. Emphasize the main selling points, simplicity, price, and quality. A short demo of each product would work well. Leo, I agree with you 100%. I love that idea. And I think for the next one, I think that's a winner. Personally, I think that's a huge winner. It just makes so much sense. We didn't know when we started with these commercials. Pretty much Christian was just given the task of, we need some videos. And we wanted it, one to appeal to this person, and one to appeal to that person, and one to appeal to this. And so it's sort of a trial and error type of thing. And Christian came up with the concept and the idea for the silent commercial, the 30-second silent commercial. And it's one of those things like, what the hell do we have to lose? Why not? Let's give it a try. I thought that you guys would like the one that I'm in better. Now, the one that I'm in better, I like more, not just because I'm in it, but I like that it explains a bit more. One of the issues I think with the first one with Amy is that it really didn't talk too much about those value propositions that Tiege Hanley has. The fact that it's affordable, it's a simple system, the products are incredible, it's delivered to you on a monthly basis. That's not really in there, and it's kind of lost. And in the commercial that you saw that Christian did, the silent one, that, like, some of the points came across, but not really. It was good. I thought it was cute. Do I think it's going to convert? No. The reality is that we don't have statistics or data yet. We had website stuff going on. We transitioned finally over to the new hosting platform, which is a managed hosting plan, which is awesome. Finally, I feel like if somebody attacks us, we actually have people that are going to help us keep it up, take care of things, which we did not have with Amazon web hosting. And so it's been a busy week. We don't have the data yet. Next week, we will have some numbers to let you guys know, hey, did it convert better than the first video that we ran, or does it convert the same? Have we just totally missed the mark again? I don't like the second video with me in it. I like aspects of it, but I kept doing this thing. Ready? Ready? I kept like laughing it off, and it was super cheesy. And I did it one too many times, and it drove me nuts. And see, when I watch things, I notice and pick apart myself horribly. And so when I saw that was the first thing I noticed, that was the only thing I can see now. But I think that overall the message for that video is better. But I love Leo's idea. Is it Leo? Leo's idea about somebody searching, sort of a narrative going over top of it of like, choosing skincare products is confusing. So many products, somebody looks at the price like, wow, and they're super expensive, and just gives up. I love that idea. And then I pop out and Tiege Hanley and show you, perfect. I think it's beautiful. And so I want to get on that, honestly, like ASAP. It has been, actually, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about technology because it has been a horrible technology week for me. I don't need much to run my businesses. I need a video camera, I need a computer, and I need a phone. Pretty much those three things. Well, two of the three have crapped the bed this week. My phone, terrible. It sucks. It's like, all of a sudden, like I updated it and I got like no battery life. My battery life is draining. It's super buggy. It's a Nexus. It's a Nexus 6, not a 6P, a Nexus 6. I love native Android. I have loved my Nexus phones. This is the second one that I've had. And it has been just an amazing phone. I recommend it to everybody. But all of a sudden, it seemed like overnight I updated it and everything started to go haywire. The other thing that has gone crazy as of Saturday is my laptop. My Lenovo laptop broke. I opened it up and a piece snapped off and the screen separated from the back. Now, this is not the first time I've had an issue with my Lenovo. It's only a year old. And all of the reviews that I read, everything was like, hey, it's a good product. Now, I know that all you Apple people out there are like, what are you even messing around with things other than Apple? Personally, I am not an Apple fanboy. It's not my thing. But I understand that the stuff is very, very good. And so my Lenovo though, like I thought it was an IBM, Lenovo's like IBM and they took it and now it's, and I heard really good things about it. I bought it and at first I was pretty happy, but the whole time I've owned the thing, and it's been a little bit over a year, there were bugs, there was weird stuff. I have a computer guy that I bring my laptops to, so he basically cleans stuff up, gets rid of a bunch of crap, and makes it a little bit faster and more basic, because I'm a basic kind of guy. And about 3 months ago, I was traveling, and my computer was in my computer bag, and it was sitting on top of my suitcase, and all of a sudden it fell over. I get on the plane, I open the laptop, and I found out that my screen had cracked. I was super upset. I'm like, oh, what am I going to do? I contacted my guy, and he's like, yeah, I'll just replace the screen. Well, he replaced the screen, but it wasn't perfect. He had to use a little piece of tape to hold it in there. And so what ended up happening is the screen ended up it never fit properly. And so the other day I opened it and it snapped. But there were other things and other issues with the Lenovo. It was just like cheaply made. Like some of the rubber around the edge, I had Gorilla Glue on. It was just kind of crappy, to be honest. And so I ran out on Saturday and decided that, okay, I'm going to bite the bullet. Here's the other thing about me. I'm cheap. I'm not a tech guy. I don't get into gadgets. I don't like get all geeked out and watch reviews. It's not me. I like creating content. I know enough to be dangerous and to pretty much run whatever I'm doing in terms of business. But I was at Best Buy and I was looking at computers, and there was one computer that was recommended by one of the guys there. It was this really nice, I'll show it to you. It's this really nice Dell. It's like super cool. It was expensive though. It was like $2,000. And this is like 3 times more than I've ever spent on a computer. And so when I'm there, it was just one of those things where, okay, this is key, this is core, this is critical to my business, and spend a little bit more money and get a better quality product as opposed to buying a cheap laptop that only would last me another year. This laptop hopefully will last me a few years. And phones, once again, it was time to upgrade, and so I ended up doing a little bit of research. I was going to get a Nexus, but when I was researching the Nexus 6P, the Google Pixel kept coming up, and I watched some reviews, and this apparently is a superior phone, but it's expensive. It's the most expensive phone I've ever bought. But I really only need 3 things to run my business, but 2 of them were bad. And for me, I'm going to try and save money. And this was sort of the first time it's like, okay, you can afford it, step up your game. but it was hard. It was hard for me to sort of come to the realization, like, okay, bite the bullet, spend the money, because I still have that poor kid from Philadelphia mentality. If I can save the money, if I can do it cheap, do it. But at this point, I feel like I'm doing myself a disservice and my productivity a disservice by not upgrading to the nicer stuff. And so this was a big deal, a big week for me, and so far so good. Why? I don't know why I'm telling you this stuff. It doesn't really apply. I guess it kind of applies because it's business. But yeah, I mean, you need the tools, and I think that's probably the takeaway. You need the proper tools for your business. And this doesn't mean, though, that you should run out and spend money to get the best stuff right away. You can start with the more affordable option, and as you grow, as your business scales, and as you do your thing a little bit better, then that's the time to upgrade. So many people, so many entrepreneurs think that they need the best this, the best that. I need that laptop because it's amazing. It's $3,000 and I really don't have much money, instead of buying the $1,000 or the $500, whatever. You make it work, you buy what you can afford to get the job done. But the beautiful thing about the world that we live in and the business world that we live in is that the internet makes everything sort of possible, and you don't need to invest tons of money to have a business and have a successful business. My camera, it's a Canon G20. I've had it for like 2 years, I think. 3 years. And I looked at nicer cameras, but for me, I don't necessarily need it. And I'm not just going, there was one actually that was a few $1,000s that I was toying with. I'm like, why? I don't need it right now. This one works great. The reason why I use a point and shoot as opposed to a DSLR is because of this little remote control. The way that I film, the way that I interact with my camera, I need a remote control. I know that you can do things with the phone and stop and start, but for me, a point and shoot, I set it, forget it, rock and roll with this bad boy, it's perfect. Gentlemen, if you missed the video, I did, showing you sort of how I film my videos. If you're interested in that, there's a link down below. I'll put that there. It sort of explains the products that I use, my setup in terms of my studio, the camera, and all that good stuff. I'll link to that down in the description. And I think I've talked long enough. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you've got any comments, you've got any questions regarding business, Tiege Hanley, your business that you're trying to start, down in the comments, let me know. I'll definitely get to some next week. And until next time, I would like to thank you so much for making this a reality and helping us on our journey, because honestly, the more I get the customer feedback, the more I hear from you, the more I see what we're doing as opposed to the rest of the skincare market, I know we have hit on something incredible. And Tiege Hanley, mark my words, will be something crazy special. It already is, but it's going to be a player, a big player. I promise you that. Rob, Kelly, the chemist, myself, we're going to bust our ass to make sure it happens. And with your support, there's no stopping us. So guys, thank you so much. We love you. I'll see you in the next vlog.